Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, it's gonna be a little bit of a different video. Last week I tested positive for coronavirus. It's been about almost a week now since I've had the virus, and I just thought it was important for me to talk about it. Obviously for me, like, I knew it was something scary and something that was going on around the world, but never did I think in my head that it would ever happen to me. My God, it's hard for me to like breathe. So about like a week ago, today is Tuesday, today is Thursday the 8th of October, and it was last Tuesday, September, I want to say 29th. Tomorrow's a week that I was diagnosed with COVID. So how I started was last Monday. I was totally fine. I went to my aunt's house. I was helping them with they're doing a quinceañera, and I was helping them learn the dance, and I was fine. And that night I came back home and I was like, oh my God, like, I feel a little sore throat. But also that day I went to go help them teach the quinceañera dance, and I was wearing shorts. I was wearing a big sweater with no undershirt, and it was very cold. Like, I live in a town where it's very cold, so I kind of was like, you know what, it's probably because I wear shorts and it was cold. I probably got like a little cold or something, so I didn't really think much of it. And that night I came back home and I was good. I was like, you know what, just probably like getting a little cold, but like I should be fine, like I'll get over it. So that night I went to sleep around 10 at night, and I was like, okay, like in the morning I'll wake up fine, like it's just a little sore throat. But I remember waking up like around 3 in the morning and my whole body was aching, like my whole body. And I remember having a big fever and just thinking to myself, oh my God, like how did I get this sick? Like, I was fine like 2 hours ago, and now I'm like super sick with like a sore throat. I feel fever, my body's aching. Literally, I would like go like this with my hands and like my nails would hurt. So I started getting panicked. Remind you guys, it was 3 in the morning, so I couldn't really go wake up my parents because I would kind of panic them. And I just started crying. I started crying because I was like, oh my God, what if I got COVID? Like, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna die? I started getting all these thoughts in my head. And I already have anxiety. I'm a very anxious person. I get it from both sides of the family. So I was already panicking, like, oh my God, like, what if I got COVID? What am I gonna do? What if I die? Like, all these thoughts, and I was driving myself crazy. So I decided to try and go to sleep, but the whole night I kept waking up with like body aches and fever, and it was just a really tough night for me. And all I can think was like, oh my God, I probably have COVID, like what am I gonna do? I was just freaking myself out the whole night. Like, I didn't really sleep. I would kind of doze off, but then I would wake up and I had body aches, and it was just something it happened so fast that's why I knew. I was like, this has to probably be COVID, because how was I good 2 hours ago and all of a sudden I have all these symptoms and I feel like crap. So when the morning came around, I went to my parents' room. I was like, you know what, like, I feel super sick, my body's aching, I have a fever, like I feel nauseous, like all these stuff. And they were like, you probably got the same cold that we got, we probably gave it to you, like you should be fine. And I'm like, I don't know, like I'm scared, I feel totally like crap, like this is not normal. So I talked to my boyfriend and he was like, you should go get tested. And I was like, I'm just scared, like I want to get tested, but at the same time I don't, just because I'm scared of the results. But I know I need to get tested because just in case I were to come out positive, I shouldn't be going out anymore. I shouldn't be doing all these stuff, even going to work. So I made an appointment to go get tested, and I got it for the following day. So that whole day, I was feeling like crap. I was drinking a lot of medicine. My mom was giving me like XL, it's like this Mexican, like Tylenol or something like that, for when you have a cold. So I kept drinking that throughout the day. I was drinking hot teas. I was eating soups. So that's what I was doing the whole day to like feel a little bit better. So the night came around and I was feeling a little bit better already. I had a little fever still, like that whole night, but it wasn't as horrible as the night before, and I actually slept that day. So when I woke up the next day, I was feeling fine. It was weird. Like I was like, okay, like what the heck? It was literally like a complete 180. Like the next morning, I was fine. It was like magically, I was good. So I was like, should I even go get tested? Because I already feel fine. Like I feel great. But I was like, you know what? Let me still just go get tested just in case. So as I was leaving, my mom was like, can I go with you? And I was like, you need to have a cita, you need to have an appointment. And she was like, no, let me just try to go with you. Maybe they'll take me in. And like, I was like, fine, let's go. So we ended up going to the place, and we get there, and the security guard is like, do you guys have appointments? And I was like, well, I do, but she doesn't. And he was like, it's fine, like there's no people, so she can go and like get her information and stuff. So my mom ended up going with me, and we were in line. I went first. I had already done the appointment, so they had my information, so they just handed me my bag with a paper with my name. And if I'm being honest, I was really scared of getting tested just because I've seen videos of people doing it. I'm like, oh my god, it looks like it hurts. I really don't want to do it. But I was like, people say it's like 5 to 10 seconds, so it's fine, like I'll get through it. Shouldn't be that horrible. So I ended up doing it. So she did it, and then she's like, okay, you're done. Your results should be with you from 3 to 5 days. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. So I ended up leaving. The same with my mom. She came out, she's like, oh, it wasn't that bad. So we ended up going home. We were talking, and we were like, what if we come out positive? And she's like, well, if we come out positive, then people at the house are going to come out positive, because like my sister's was also starting to get sick, my little brother, my uncle that lives with us. So I was like, no, I hope it's just like a cold. So we're just like, no, like in my head I kind of was like, I don't think it's COVID, just because I already feel better. Like, don't you have to feel like crap like for days and days when you have COVID? So I was like, no, I don't think it's COVID. So as the days went on, it was 2 days later, I was feeling fine, like completely fine. And I was like, yeah, it was not COVID. Like, I know it was not COVID because I feel great. Like, I'm back to my regular life. I even went to work. And I was like, I'm great. Like, I don't even feel crappy. It was just that one day. So Friday morning, I get a text. Saying that my results were in, and I tried to check it, but it wouldn't let me, so I said to call this number. So I ended up calling. I gave them my patient ID number, and a lady answered, and then she asked me for my date of birth, like where I live, whatever, to get my information. And she's like, okay, regarding the test you took on September 28th, it says here that you came out positive for COVID. When she said that, I literally stopped, and I was like, oh my god, like, I'm positive. Like, at first I was like, no, it took it like I don't know, I was just so in disbelief. I was like, how am I positive for COVID? And my sister was right next to me, and I looked at her, and she looked at me, and she was like, oh my god, dude. And she was like, okay, I need to proceed to tell you what to do next. Like, basically, like, to quarantine and talk to people that I've been around with, like, for the past week, just in case, like, I could have given them COVID. But I kind of already knew those things. So as she was just saying that, everything kind of was a blur. I was just, like, mostly in shock, being like, oh my god, how did I even get it? Like, where did I even get it? And I started going back and thinking, could I have gotten it over here? Like, all these things started running through my head. then I remember thinking, oh my god, like people are, like everybody in my house is basically sick. And I remember calling my mom. I was like, Mom, guess what? And she's like, what? And I was like, I came out positive for COVID. And then she's like, oh my god. And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, well, if you came out positive, then I'm positive because I've been feeling sick and I'm still sick. And I remember just thinking, oh my god, like what am I gonna do? Like I shouldn't even be out because I was driving. So I just flipped around and I went back home. And I was just in shock. I was like, oh my god, I'm just gonna be in my room. Like how crazy is that? Like I couldn't believe it. So as soon as my dad got home from work, he went to go get tested as well because he was still feeling sick. And my sister and my brother went along as well. They went along because they were like, maybe we have COVID as well. So we were all panicking. We're like, you know what? Let's just try to take care of ourselves and wear our masks around the house and try to not be close with each other so much, just because what if like they don't have COVID and we do. So it was just like a scary time. And I remember that night, as it's gonna sound like so dumb, but I remember that night I started getting a fever again. My body ache came back, and I just went super downhill that night. And I remember like not sleeping at all that night. It was like 6 in the morning. I was literally calling my boyfriend in tears, but he wouldn't answer because he was like totally asleep. And I was just feeling so sick, and like just finding out that I had a COVID that same day was like scaring me so much. I was like, oh my god, like what if I die? Like everything started coming back to me. And I was like, what if I'm just feeling sick because I'm like paranoid that I have COVID now? So as the days have been going on, I've been feeling a lot of body ache, I get a lot of fevers. I can still smell. I haven't lost my smell or taste, but when I do try to eat, I do feel a little bit disgusted. Like I don't know why the food feels nasty to me. Like I crave food, but once I have it right in front of me, like for instance, one of my friends brought me food, and I was like, oh my god, I'm super hungry. I was craving this, and I just couldn't eat it. Like I couldn't eat it. I was feeling like, ugh, like I just ate a wing, and I was like, no, like I can't. Like I was eating caldos like for days and days. I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready to eat like something different. So I was like, let me just try to get some chicken wings, because that's my favorite thing. And I couldn't eat them. I remember just wanting to throw up. So I was like, oh my god, I can't even eat. So that's what's been going on with me. Also, I've been having diarrhea. It hasn't been as bad, but I continue to still have it. But it's not to the point where I have to be going all the time to the restroom. It's just like when I do have to go to the restroom, it is diarrhea. But the only thing that I can say is that this experience has been like a roller coaster for me. I just keep going like this. Like I get sick, I get better, I get sick, I get better. Usually at night is when I get a little bit more sick. I get like fevers. I try to wash my sheets like every other day because I sweat a lot. Yeah, it's been pretty intense. It's been scary, but we're hanging on. And I know I still have COVID because even last night I was still having a fever. It's gonna be a week tomorrow since I found out I had COVID. I really haven't had energy to do anything. It's just been laying in bed, trying to rest, going to school. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on and how I'm doing right now. I'm doing a little better today. I didn't wake up feeling like my body was aching, so that's a plus. But yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. But that's what I'm going through right now. And hopefully, Dios quiera, we all get better, and we'll see what goes on after this But I'll keep you guys updated. Hopefully soon I come out negative and I'm feeling better. But in the meanwhile, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Yeah, I'll see you guys later.